Hi there, in this video I'm going to talk about the 7 ways you can boost your revenues without spending a penny or a cent on marketing. Now I know what you're thinking, how on earth can that be possible? How can you boost your sales and not spend any money on marketing? Marketing is what drives everything, right? Well, not necessarily. Actually, you can boost your revenues without spending a cent on marketing. It's actually easier than you might think. Now if you've not met me before, my name's Paul. I'm a CFO, I'm an entrepreneur, and I've spent over 25 years helping businesses to grow profitably. Not only that, I've also run 3 businesses of my own, so believe me, I know a thing or two about business. Before we go any further, I'd like you to do me a favour and hit the subscribe button to my channel. I post new content every week and I would love to be able to share it with you. Okay, so what is the key to growing your sales without spending money on marketing? The key is to use the resources that you have and think a bit more creatively about them. Well, I know what you're thinking, Paul, what on earth does that mean? Well, let's take a look. I promised you 7 points, here we go. So to increase your sales, point number 1, increase your average order value. Now, how are you going to do that? I don't care if you're selling goods or services. The way to focus on growing revenue is growing the value of each order. Think about how you might be able to you could look at product pricing, which is one way to do it, although not necessarily the best way. Think about what kind of cross-selling opportunities there are, what kind of upsells you could do, whether you could kind of bundle different goods or services. Think about what your customers really want, what kind of value you can give them, and use that as a way to give them even better offers that are going to make them spend more money with you. Second point we want to talk about is looking at your existing customers. Now, customers who bought from you before are your most loyal customers. They're the ones most likely to come back to you again. And also, chances are you already know who they are. You don't need to spend money marketing to them again. If you've been clever, you've been collecting email addresses or physical addresses, or you'll have a way of contacting them. And that's a great way to increase sales without spending a penny on marketing, because you can give them offers to get them to come back and buy from you again. Think about how you can incentivize your existing customers to come and buy more purchases from you time and time again. So that is point number 2. Connected a bit with that is point number 3. Have you thought about running a loyalty scheme, both for new and existing customers? A loyalty scheme is a great way to boost those repeat sales and grow your overall revenues, because everybody likes a deal, don't they? Everybody likes to be rewarded for loyalty. And there's some really creative ways that you can think about rewarding customers. It doesn't necessarily have to be, come to my coffee shop 9 times and on the 10th time I'll give you a cup of coffee for free if you've got a card and stamped it 10 times and you haven't lost it in the meantime. There's a lot smarter ways to incentivize people to come back, give them something they would really want. For example, you might want to give them exclusive preview access to a sale you might be running, or a new product or service launch. Think about how else you can give value to your existing customers, which will get them to spend more money in a way that doesn't necessarily happen to mean giving a load of money off. So loyalty schemes, we've seen them in the supermarkets, but they're really, really powerful, and it's well worth thinking about. Point number 4, a way to get your revenues boosted, is think about a referral scheme. So you'll see I've actually spent these 3 points and talking quite a lot about your existing customers, because as I say, that's one of the easiest ways to get your overall business to grow. Think about how you can get your existing customers to refer new business to you. Give them some kind of incentive or reward to bring someone else into your business, because that way things will not only grow more organically, but actually if someone comes from you via a referral from somebody they know and trust, they're going to be much more likely to trust your company, your brand, your products, your services. So actually, in my experience, customers who've been referred tend to be much more loyal than customers you've paid for to recruit via an advertising campaign. So it's really, really worth thinking about what kind of scheme you might be able to run, and really treating your existing customers as royalty. Okay, that's the first 4 ways that you can boost your revenues without spending a penny on marketing. I want to take a quick pause there and ask you a question. I'm really keen to know how you grow your business. Do you spend it all on marketing? If so, how? What do you do? Have you done any of the points that we've talked about already? Do drop me some comments below. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. And particularly if you've got some tips that might help everybody else here, we'd really love to hear from you. So do please drop me a comment or 2 below. Okay, so back to the matter in hand. 7 ways I promise you to boost your revenues without spending any money on marketing. We've covered the first 4. Point number 5, think about doing partnerships. And I'm thinking marketing partnerships here. Think about what you have, what resources you have that might be interesting to other people, because you can actually come up with some really interesting deals. So for example, could you work with somebody to cross-promote their products to your customers? Think about if it's a complementary product that your customers might really want, that could work really well and your customers might want that. And in exchange, that other company could then promote your products to its customer base. That's a really good way of doing it. Or if you don't want to do that because you don't want to give away your customer information, which of course is understandable. Not every business wants to do that. Think about running a promotion where there's a revenue share. So it could be what you're selling. You might be selling whether it's goods or services, offering a third party a percentage of every sale or some kind of deal to incentivize them to promote your goods or services to their client base. And we're not just talking about 1 or 2 partnerships. If you think about, this is exactly, I guess, what kind of influencers do on a smaller scale on Instagram and social media. Actually getting somebody to promote your goods in exchange for a chunk of the revenue is a great way, because you're not spending any marketing money up front. You're only going to pay money out if you've generated the sales for it. So actually, it's a win-win as long as you pick the right partner. And actually, I know several businesses whose marketing activities consist solely of building partnerships with the right people. So don't discard it as something small. This could actually be fundamental in terms of how you grow your business. Okay, point number 6 is all about, and this applies specifically to you selling things online. So apologies if you've got a physical office or a physical store for this point. But if you're selling online, think about how you can optimize your site so that it converts better. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've all heard the importance of SEO, and you've probably heard of optimizing your site, and you think, oh, I'm not a technical person. It sounds like a faff. Is it really worth it? Believe me, it is worth it. If you can redesign your website so that it converts better, and what I mean by that is getting more of the visitors to your site that end up buying a product. It's about getting your customer, getting your visitor to come to your site to the product or service that they want as quickly as possible, and showing them why it's important, why it matches their needs. That way, if you can increase conversion, you can make a huge difference to your overall revenues. And in some cases, particularly if you've got a site that's got thousands of visitors to it, even increasing that conversion rate by a fraction of a percent can mean tens of thousands of dollars more in the bank. So it's really, really worth not just paying attention to that, not just once, but keeping it on an ongoing basis, and always thinking, how can we tweak things so that the site performs better, make it more efficient. So that's point number 6. And finally, point number 7 is all about your team, actually, about how you can train and incentivize your staff to help them sell more to your customers. Now, what I'm not talking about here is teaching your team to give people the hard sell. I'm not about that. We all hate that, and to my mind, that's really bad business. But if you can be helpful to your customers by making sure, we talked about getting those customers to the solution they're after, or the solution they may not even know they need, as quickly and as helpfully as possible, can really make a huge difference to your revenues. Actually, if you've got a company that's bigger and you might have a customer service team, someone might phone up with a query about one of your products or one of your services. Well, actually, if that person knows those products and services in detail, they can actually talk to that customer, understand what they're looking for, help them match their needs to something you're selling. Actually, you'd probably get a sale that you wouldn't have got before, and there's scope, as I say, to then potentially think about the cross-sells, the upsells, the bundles that we talked about earlier. It can be really, really powerful because, as we all know, as people, we buy from people we know and trust. And if you can speak to somebody, if you can actually explain what you're trying to do or what you're looking for, and if someone can actually then help you find a solution that's going to work for you, you're going to be much more likely to buy from that person or from that business than if you have to spend hours trawling through a website, reading a small print. Oh, this looks like this might do it, might not do it. I mean, God grief, that's so boring. So it sounds like a simple point, but this again can really transform your business. And actually, thinking about customers, maybe someone's phoned up and they're not happy with what you've sold them, whether it's other goods or services, because it's not quite worked for them in the way they thought. Actually, you have a chance then to turn that sale around, turn that customer around, make them happy, give them something else. You'll be surprised what you can do to actually take a disgruntled customer and turn them into a customer who's not only happy with what you've done, but actually will rave about your business to all their friends and family. This whole point about making sure your staff know exactly about your business and what they're doing can make a huge difference. So there we go. Anyway, a few points there. Seven ways to grow your business without spending a penny on marketing. Hope you found that helpful. As I say, do drop me some comments. I'd really love to know your thoughts on what you do, particularly something we can all learn from. And as I say, if you've not hit the subscribe button yet, please do so, because I do put new content out every week. Now, finally, before you race to click the stop button, I've got a free guide for you. Yes, it's a free guide. I've got a free 7-day bootcamp. It's 7 days to business brilliance, where I take you through everything you need to know to grow your business. So particularly about how to turbocharge your marketing, which is the #1 thing I'm asked about time and time again. We also look at running pricing, how to run promotions. We look at managing your cash. We look at a whole range of things that you can do. It's a 30-page PDF. It's completely free, and the link to get that guide is below. So do feel free to click on that link and I'll send it to you right away. Anyway, hope you found that helpful. I really appreciate you hanging in there till the end, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.